Hey guys, how are you doing today? Good to having you here. So we're gonna kick the ball. We're gonna get this ball rolling, and we're gonna be here for a few minutes. Nothing much is happening in the market, and I'm gonna explain my reason for saying that. But before we dive into the charts, as you can see, we have the calendar right in front of us. And then also, we want to say thank you for joining us. It's indeed a pleasure having you here. I'm Tolu of CSA Forex, and we have people joining us from different platforms, from the YouTube Live, where I'm streaming, and also on the Trading Live as well. Yes. So, a quick disclaimer for you. Kindly note that the information we're going to be sharing is strictly for educational purposes and not to be used as a form of signal. You need to ensure that you have your risk management in place, how to calculate your risk based on your account balance, your volume, lot size, and then also how to manage your trade appropriately. Very, very key, very, very important indeed, right? So with that out of the way, we're okay. Greetings, guys. How are you doing today? It's a pleasure having you here. And if you are here live with me, kindly signify by typing in the chat section. Let's be sure that you can hear us loud and clear. Let's be sure that the audio is good to go. The visuals are good to go as well. We will not be taking way too much of your time. Today, we are going to be looking at what is happening in the market, which isn't much for now. I can tell you that for a fact, simply because the market hasn't moved much. It hasn't broken out of its range from Monday and also yesterday, and even up till now, it has been ranging. I'm going to show you as we proceed. But let me know. Beautiful. Thank you. Emmanuel Omo said, I can hear you, sir. Thank you. And Emmanuel Omo, we're going to look at your GPY 4 hours, as I was also keeping an eye on it as well. But then I want us to quickly do something before we proceed, right? I want us to look at the calendar. we always say, first things first, check the calendar before you start talking about the charts. Fundamentals, first of all, before the technicals, because you don't want to jump into any trade where there is high impact news that comes out and gives us whipsaws, gives us slippages, and a whole lot of other things. And with that said, if you look at the calendar that we have right in front of us now, you'll notice something. You notice that yesterday, Tuesday, was absolutely empty. I repeat, the calendar for yesterday was absolutely empty. It was Tuesday, January 9th. Today is Wednesday, January 10th. And remember, we said we're looking strictly at only the high impact, the red impact, which means high volatility in the market. But today, January 10th, we have news. Australian dollar, which has already come out in the wee hours of the day. Pounds, the Bank of England, Governor Bailey, is going to be giving a speech by 3:15 p.m. That's approximately 1 hour plus from now. So expect some high movement for pounds pairs, pound USD, pounds JPY, and the rest of them. So just like Emmanuel Omo that is trading the pound JPY, expect that there should be some volatile moves in the market for pounds. And we're going to look at the pound JPY H4 again as a form of follow-up. Tomorrow, January 11th, we have for the US dollar, we have the CPI and the unemployment claims by 2:30 p.m. But trust me, during this period, the market is going to move significantly. I repeat, during that period, the market is going to move significantly. So it is best that we are aware and then we know how to approach the market, because that is a period where a lot of people tend to have losses. They tend to crash their accounts and the rest of them. And we wouldn't want that to be your case. For those just joining us, for those just joining us for the first time, right? My name is Toby. Okay, can you hear me? We seem to be having some technical difficulties here. Can you hear me? Okay, I can see Warison without saying too. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, it seems we might be okay, beautiful. I can see you guys said yes. Okay, great. So as I was saying, this is the calendar, and we don't have anything of significance for today, apart from the pounds coming out 3:15 p.m. And for the pounds 3:15 p.m., the Bank of England Governor Bailey is going to be on the wire. It's going to be giving a speech. So we should be expecting some volatile movements for the pound. Tomorrow is the big one for the CPI, the Consumer Price Index. And I'm going to show you guys something now because the market has not done anything much. We're going to switch over to the charts now. And as we switch over to the charts, we're going to first of all look at the dollar index. We talked about the dollar index yesterday. And looking at the dollar index, you'll notice something. You notice that the market has been moving sideways over here. The market started from here, and in between these two levels, it has been moving sideways, as you can see. And we're expecting a breakout either to the upside or to the downside. But most likely, I'm going to tell you this, and this is most likely what might happen because tomorrow is the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, which usually comes with high volatility. And with that said, the market most likely might continue to move sideways. This is for the dollar. And yesterday, if you remember, for those that were here yesterday, I said I took a trade on the Euro USD. This is it over here. I'm still in the trade. It's still more or less at break even. It has been moving sideways because for Euro USD, it is heavily correlated with the dollar index, the DXY. And as the DXY has been moving sideways, of course, the Euro USD also will be moving sideways. I can even adjust my trend lines to this. We can adjust the trend lines to look in this manner because the market is still moving sideways. And we're expecting what? We're expecting a breakout to the upside. Well, hopefully not to the upside because that's where my stop loss is. And we're expecting a breakout to the downside, right? But let's see how the market plays out. And this is the 4 hours time frame for the Euro USD. Don't forget, please, our information that we're sharing should be used for education and not as a form of signals. You need to understand how to calculate your risk. You need to you need to understand how to manage your trades appropriately as well, right? So with that said, this is the dollar index moving sideways. And of course, anything and everything that has to do with the dollar would more or less be moving sideways as well, right? I'm also looking at the gold, but the gold has been moving sideways. But the good thing now about the gold is that it is still respecting this area here of resistance. As you can see, it's still respecting the area, still respecting it. And it also seems to be within this level of resistance here, this resistance here, and support, right? So the market is in between this level and this level. But until tomorrow, most likely tomorrow, I know tomorrow seems like it's a long way from now, right? But most likely until tomorrow, 24 hours from now, we might most likely have some further sideways action in the market before it breaks to the upside or to the downside. Now I'm going to cross over to the comment section, and if you have any question, feel free to ask. If you have any question, feel free to ask. Okay, I can't see any comments, but I'm just going to wait a bit. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. We are going to still look at the GBP JPY, right? And that was from on our almost chart. We're going to look at the GBP JPY. So I'm going to give you guys a second or two. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And of course, we will continue with the few charts that we have before we round up. We don't have anything much in the market today. I'll give you further information on how you can benefit from the market, even though there is nothing today. Because most likely tomorrow, we might have some good opportunities in the market. Hello, guys. No, man. Hello, can you guys hear me? Okay, we might need to wrap up. I'm not getting any question, and it seems where I am, my internet seems to be fluctuating a bit. I'm just going to continue to talk, and if anybody has any question, because I can see Emmanuel Omo said no questions. Okay, Warren else said it looks like you always draw the S&R on the entry time frame. Okay, well, not exactly on the entry time frame, right? Because it depends on how you're looking at the market. Most times, I like to look at the market and enter the market from the same time frame. It's much easier, so I don't get confused. And as a matter of fact, that tends to confuse a lot of traders. Warriston, Nelson, let me know if you can hear me. Hello. Okay, yeah, so yeah, Warriston, did you hear what I said? Okay, great. So most times what I do, like this JPY 4 hours time frame, we talked about this yesterday for um Emmanuel Umo. And what we said based on this yesterday was because we looked at this from the 4 hours time frame and we said it's always best to do everything from the 4 hours time frame. So we mark this area here as resistance, support, 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 and some other support, resistance areas. And then we had the triangle, right? So I said yesterday, right, the price could either break out, come back to this area, and then drop in this manner, right? Or it could break to the upside and then come back here. Now it has gotten back to this area. So based on using the same time frame, now as a matter of fact, it's up to you. You could decide to drop down in time frames. I repeat, you could decide to drop down in time frames and then use maybe 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes to get a discounted entry where your stop loss is smaller and of course your take profit is bigger. But I normally advise to do everything on the same time frame. So if you are doing everything on the same time frame over here where the market is, let me clean this up now. over here where the market is, to be best to look for, since you want to sell, it's best for you to look for a bearish, a bearish pin bar, like this candle that is forming now. As you can see, if it drops all the way down and ends up being something like this, then it will be a good one to enter. So it's either called a bearish pin bar or a bearish hammer, and then you could have like an engulfing, right? Where the second candle swallows, encompasses, engulfs the first one, which also signals a move to the downside. And this is the GBP JPY 4 hours time frame. Now we said best to do everything on the same time frame, but it's up to you. You can switch down to a lower time frame, right? I repeat, you could switch down to a lower time frame and then get a discounted entry, right? So this is also for Emmanuel Omo. So if you're looking at this, pay attention to what we have here. Also, prior to the news coming out in a bit, don't forget we have the news coming out for GBP, and we checked on the fundamentals based on the first factory not too long ago. So always make sure you check the calendar before you do any other thing, right? So we've been having some small technical difficulties, not really sure whether you guys are with me anymore. I'm just going to wait. If I get any feedback, then we continue. And if we don't get any feedback, then we might just call it a day till tomorrow. I'm just going to do a quick summary for now, right? As a quick summary, for now, the market, especially for the dollar, has been sideways, right? For now, market for the US dollar has been sideways, most likely waiting for the news coming out tomorrow, which is the CPI. And the news coming out tomorrow for the CPI, it might get to this point where we have selling opportunity here, as you can see, based on the resistance levels, and give us a bearish price action pattern here for you to sell. But you might get to this point here where you have some former areas of resistance, support, 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 support. So you should then act as support and then look for a bullish candlestick pattern. It could either be the bullish pin bar, bullish hammer, bullish engulfing for you to use to push higher. But then for now, the market is going to continue to go sideways, most likely. And because it is going sideways, the trade that I have running presently on my Euro USD is also sideways. So I'm just simply waiting this out to see what will happen in this area, whether it drops down the more or it goes up and takes some my stop loss. It's always good for you to be aware that not every trade you take would be a winner, right? Not every trade you take would be a winner. So now, with that said, I can't see any comment or feedback from anybody. Apologies for the break in transmission. I think it happened more than once. Sorry about that. Most likely tomorrow, it will be much better, right? So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We'll close this now because of the technical difficulties that we had earlier. So we also talked about the pound JPY, and we said for Emmanuel Omo or anybody interested in this, pay attention to what's happening here. It's in the area of selling. So look forward to selling and taking it down, or it pushes higher some more and use this as a launching pad to go up, right? Okay, so with that said, we'd like to say thank you for joining us, right? And of course, we will do this again tomorrow. And then hopefully we are here together just before the CPI news. So please make it a date with us tomorrow, just before the CPI news. And another thing I also want to share with you, if you are totally new to the business, you're a beginner, then what you need to do, right? If you're totally new to the business as a beginner, then what you need to do is to head over to the website over here. I'm going to drop the website link in the chat section where you can watch a beginner's training that will give you the necessary information, right, on how to trade the market the proper way. I'm going to drop it over there. I'm going to drop it over there. Sorry for the break in transmission, guys. I can see that Emmanuel Omo just said, thank you, sir. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, right? Share this link that I have dropped, right? You can see if you navigate to that website and then you scroll down, you see contact us. So you can reach out to me, click on contact us and contact me if you have any questions whatsoever. And you can also reach out to me on Instagram at CSA Forex at Instagram. That's CSA Forex. You can reach out to me there if you have any questions. Okay, so I'm going to be rounding up now. Sorry for the break in transmission, and then we will see you same time tomorrow. Okay, trade safely. Don't forget the market is ranging for now. Do not be in a hurry. Wait for the market to present opportunities and then take advantage of them. Okay, thank you.